Hey, happy Thursday. No, not Thursday. What is today? Wednesday. Sorry. Hope everyone is having a great hump day midweek. It is actually my Thursday because Friday morning early, Kerrie and I are flying out to Las Vegas. So I'm taking Friday off. Anyway, while we're waiting on folks to join, and by the way, my mother says she is not joining today. So feel free to jump in and be the first hi today. I'm Cooped Up is my website. You can visit that at any time. Would love you to check out what's going on there. I'm Cooped Up is my handle in all the social places. Please give me a follow, particularly if you are on the Instagrams, but anywhere else as well. That is also where I broadcast this originally and most often, although sometimes I do it on my personal profile as well. And wherever you do watch or listen to this, it's on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and then on audio format as a rebroadcast on all the major podcasting platforms. Please subscribe, click the bell, whatever the thing is, so that you do not miss a minute of it. So, hey, Sandy, happy day, happy hump day. Hope you're doing well. It's cold and rainy here. I started off the day only wearing just like super cute, like striped Oxford. But then I had to end up putting a sweater on. A cold front blew in. So, and I'm a little congested today. I woke up this morning with a little bit of a drippy nose. It's nothing though. Mason had a cold over the weekend, and every COVID test in the world has been done in this house already. So it is fine. It is just a seasonal cold. Hey, Pam, Aunt Pam, how are you? But today, the highlight of my day today was that I finally got a chance to listen to Shania Twain's new album. And everyone knows Shania Twain. Everyone loves Shania Twain. You know, hits like, damn, I feel like a woman, or that don't impress me much. You know, all of the big songs of hers. From, I would say most of her fame, it was in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Maybe I've got the timeline a little bit wrong. But in my mind, it was like my big clubbing days and all that kind of stuff. They would always have like the remakes of her songs. And she is just a ball of positivity. I don't know. Does she have any songs that are just like negative? I mean, I guess that don't impress me much. It's technically a kind of like slam song, but it sounds so positive. But the new album dropped like 3 or 4 days ago, and it's called Queen of Me. The first song is called Giddy Up. And so, by the way, the whole album is more dancey and poppy than it is country, but it's very obviously has a country twang to it. I picked up the kids listening to it. I've listened to the entire album twice today, and you could tell just because she has a natural twang to it, and there's a little bit of that, like not steel guitar, but like a certain type of guitar that is prominent in country music. I can't think of what it is now. But so there's some of that in it. But there's one song that sounds like it could be easily a Meghan Trainor song. It's got kind of like that doo-woppy sound to it. There's some that are a little slower. She has one song that has an F-bomb in it a bunch of times, actually. And so the whole album has an explicit warning on it now. There is a clean version as well, though, if that's not your thing. But she basically just says, "You're a fucking liar," like 20 times in the song, because it's called "You're a Liar" or something like that. But this is the thing about having CDs that I miss, is that when you when you used to get a CD, you could listen to the CD, and then you could have the cover out, and you could see like the playlist of songs. You could kind of follow along. A lot of them had the lyrics on the inside, who wrote it, all that kind of stuff. Because I'm wondering if Meghan Trainor did not, on that one song, which I don't know the name of it because I don't have it in front of me, if Meghan Trainor was not somehow involved, because it sounds very Meghan Trainor-ish. And I think all of Meghan Trainor's songs sound the same. But worth the listen even if you're not a huge Shania Twain fan. I am a big Shania Twain fan. I've seen her concert on TV because she had a big Vegas show for a while. And this is the first album in, I think, like almost 10 years, 10 years, something like that, studio album that she's put out. So she did a residency in Vegas for a little bit. And then she's just been doing other stuff, I guess. Man, I Feel Like a Woman is my gay boy vibe. Glad to have Shania back. Yes. And she has been working the publicity. I don't know if you noticed at the Grammys. it was impossible to not know she was at the Grammys. First of all, she looked ridiculous in a fabulous way, but looked ridiculous. But she stood the whole time and clapped for everybody and was cheering with lots of energy. She's been all over the TikToks and the Instagrams and all that kind of stuff. And you know what? I just love a world where Shania Twain gets a comeback. I am just there for that. So, because again, she's just super fun. She doesn't have I don't think she has a super strong opinion on things, which, I mean, take it or leave it. Sometimes you just want someone not to have super strong opinions on things. But worth the listen. And if you're on streaming, it's free to listen or included. It's not free because you paid for the streaming, but it's included. So Queen of Me is the name of the album. That's what I listened to. That was Logan's song you were playing when it was playing. Man, I Feel Like a Woman was playing when Logan was born. That's my niece, my sister's daughter, her firstborn. And Zach likes the cute sweater. Thank you. This was a birthday or Christmas present ages ago. And when I was a little too fat, because, I've lost almost 35 pounds. More and more of y'all are teasing me about that. And so that's why I just keep doing it. It was it like bulged out too much. It didn't look good. So, and Zach, by the way, is doing really well on the Optavia diet as well. What are you down, Zach? Like since Sunday, you're down like 5 pounds already, 10 pounds, something like that. Brandon is actually who turned me onto it, who's also watching right now. And Brandon and his coworker and friend, Christine. Sorry about rubbing my nose. Whatever blew in gave me a runny nose, and I've snorted some stuff for it. Obviously, not the good stuff, but it's just a cold because Mason had a cold over the weekend, and we did test for COVID, so don't worry about that. Okay, update on. I don't know if y'all are. Yeah. Zach is on day 4 of Optavia and down 7 pounds so far. Do women have the same positive experience with it like that? Brandon is down 60 and going strong. Yeah. So this morning because I'm on Weight Watchers now. I switched off of the paper pretending to be food diet. Because I will tell you, Optavia worked, but I hated it. I thought it was, I like the bars. I like the smoothies. Everything else just tasted like paper or aspartame. I jokingly call it the paper pretending to be food diet or space food. But anyway, it worked and it gave me the motivation, and I'm very grateful for it. And I'm very happy I did it and all of that. But now I'm on Weight Watchers and barely watching my weight. And I am still somehow losing weight. I don't know if it's that I just don't eat as much. Because I weighed in this morning and my original goal was 200. I was 228, 229, something like that before. My original goal was 200. And that's when I got off Optavia. When I hit 200. And in the last 2 weeks, I've dropped to, I'm 195 point something now and been fluctuating a little bit there. And that is my stretch goal is 195. Because I just want to have enough wiggle room where if I'm bad one weekend, like Kerrie and I are going to Las Vegas this weekend, and I don't plan to be watching my diet too much on that, if I fluctuate a few pounds, I don't cross back into the 200s because that is like a mental roadblock for me. So, and by the way, I've got a light card today. So if y'all have questions, topics you want to talk about, whatever, please put them in the comments. And also, please know that this airs in 3 different places: Facebook Live on my page, Facebook Live on my personal profile, and YouTube Live. So if you don't see some of the comments, I'm not making them up. They're just in one of the other places too. I use an aggregator for this. So have y'all heard the latest on the Dallas Zoo's saga and the guy who stole the monkeys? So to back up, the guy was spotted at the Dallas World Aquarium, which is a private aquarium and kind of zoo-like thing here in downtown Dallas. The owner of it lives like 20 houses down from me. The guy was in there and was being suspicious. Someone recognized him, called it in. He got arrested as he was leaving. And then he has since confessed allegedly to all of the break-ins at the Dallas Zoo and the thefts and all that stuff. And so there are a couple of things that are kind of weird about it. I mean, there's a lot of things that are weird about it, but there's some certain things. First of all, he has confessed that he actually did break into the zoo 3 times. He broke in to steal the cloud leopard first, and it got out of the cage. He couldn't grab it, and it jumped into the trees. And so he left. And then he broke in again. And by the way, he just broke in by jumping a fence on Clarendon Avenue, which is next to the DART station, which comes to play in a moment also. Jumped the fence there, and then he went in, and then he cut the cage and tried to get there was another kind of animal that he tried to get 2 of them, and they wouldn't come to him, and they never got out of the cage, but the cage was cut. And then the one he was successful at stealing were the 2 monkeys, right? And king monkeys, something like that. Emperor monkeys, I don't remember what they were called. They look like Wilford Brimley, or they're kind of like that Fu Manchu thing. So he got those, he grabbed them, I guess put them in a bag, because he then jumped back over the fence, got on the DART train. DART, for those of you who don't live in Dallas, is our public transport. And they have light rail that has a stop right at the zoo. And he took it as far south as he could go, got off, and then walked to Lancaster, which is a different town. So he's doing all of this trek with these 2 monkeys in his bag. And again, I'm assuming it's in a bag. I doubt he's just riding with them on his shoulder. And that might have attracted some attention. It would have had to have been late at night. I don't know how late the DART runs around there. But he got off in South Dallas and then walked. And then and was found at a house that was owned by a church, where he stored a bunch of other things also. And the church sometimes suspected it and would report it, sort of. That whole thing, that connection is weird to me also. It's almost like they knew more. And then this is the thing that is, when I heard this, I was like, So he has already told the police in all of these confessions. And oh, by the way, he says he has nothing to do with the vulture being killed, the suspicious killing of the vulture. And I will tell you, I do believe that, because the other 3 break-ins were all immediately next to each other, like 1, 2, 3. And the vulture was like on the other side of the zoo. And who wants a fucking vulture? You couldn't steal that thing. It was the size of like my torso. So, but the whole thing is crazy. But here's the thing. So he is now in police custody for animal endangerment and breaking and entering and some other stuff like that. But he has already told them that if they let him go, he's going to do it again. Like, he's threatening them. If you let me go, I'm going to do it. That sounds to me like he is scared to be out. Like, I have said all along, I think this guy is the front man being put up by some larger, more nefarious organization. I'm going to be very disappointed if this is not a more nefarious plot than just some crazy guys trying to steal some monkeys. My guess is that he feels safer in prison, or in jail. You're not in prison if you haven't been tried, but in jail, county jail. He feels safer in jail than he does if he were released, because now his name is known. And granted, there's part of that too. But maybe like the organized crime bosses or whomever he's working for, I don't know who it is, would go get him, right? So Blake is so confused. I assumed it would be some sort of animal rights activist. Yes, isn't that and so weird? The hard thing about the animal rights activists, though, is that almost none. So I'm of 2 minds on this. Almost none of these animals have ever lived in the wild. They all have been born in captivity, raised in captivity, all of that. So these animals, now I'm saying maybe stop breeding them if you don't support it. But it would actually, I think it would be crueler to these animals if they did release them into the wild, because they wouldn't know how to survive. They're going to get eaten on day 1. They're going to get trampled. They're going to fall out of a tree, whatever it is. Some predator is going to kill them. So those animals, I think it's one of those things that's sort of like SeaWorld. SeaWorld, I don't love. We probably won't ever take the kids there. But those, the orcas, the shamus that they have, they can't release those shamus. They're all born in captivity. They can't release them into the wild because they don't know how to hunt. They don't know how to protect themselves. They don't know how to do any of these things, right? And so they just have to keep them, not have them in a show, They just got to keep them in this tank until they die, basically. Just hopefully they're not breeding them anymore. I think that's the same. That's what I said, Blake. Yep, same with SeaWorld, exactly. There is a 20-second delay between the time I say the words and you hear them, so sometimes I get ahead or change subjects. And Monica is saying they'll catch him in jail too. I know, but still, maybe he feels like a little bit safer there. So, but I tell you, the minute I heard, I'm gonna do it again, I'm gonna do it again, I'm gonna do it again, and everyone knows his name, what he looks like. That sounded very, very suspicious to me. Like he wanted to protect himself. So, and the only other thing I got going on, again, if you have any questions, want me to address specific things, all of that, I can talk about politics generally. I don't talk politics. I can talk about like the things surrounding them, but because people always want to post that, and I'm not urging you to recommend that. I'm just saying that people sometimes do that. So Kerrie and I, my best friend Kerrie, who was going to be here today, but about 20 minutes ago, she got pulled into a work thing. Boo. And so that's also why my card's so light. On Wednesdays when she's on, I kind of lean on her to help carry the show. But we are leaving Friday morning, I think on like an 11 o'clock flight for Las Vegas, because on Saturday night, we have tickets to Weekends with Adele. I'm so excited about it. I've already watched some of the clips and cried, so I just know I'm going to be a blubbering mess there. But I am officially entering the, do I want to wear this in Vegas? And if so, don't wear it now phase of packing. I actually should probably just pack because I don't know. Do y'all do this when you go on vacation? I think most people do. It's like, I don't want to wash it. I don't want to do a bunch of laundry beforehand. So if it is clean already and I plan to wear it there, then don't wear it now. And it's going to be a two outfit a day endeavor. We come back Sunday. But during the day closed to go look around, walk around. Kerrie's never been to Vegas, which just blows my mind. And then dinner. We have dinner on Friday night at Martha Stewart's new place called like the Bedford. I think that's what it's called, the Bedford. It's in Paris. And Saturday we're still figuring that out. But for lunch, I think we're going to try to do the Mon Ami. But that doesn't take reservations, but everyone raves about it. I love Bouchon there, but I've eaten there a million times. And the only restaurant where I have eaten in Vegas where I was like, that wasn't the best was Giada. The Giada de Laurentiis' restaurant. The space was pretty, but it was just kind of like very expensive and very plain. And I don't know. So, and then, good seg there. I was actually going to talk about this, Eric. Where are you guys staying? We are staying at the Vdara, Vdara. The Vdara is my favorite place to stay in Las Vegas, and it is an unlikely favorite place to stay. It is a boring-ass hotel. It is connected. It was built as condominiums. It was going to be the condominium building in that city center development. It's connected to the Aria. The front door of Vdara is like 50 steps away from the front door of the Aria. And the Vdara has no casino in it. It has one bar, has no restaurants. It has one bar, like on the first floor. From the front door to the elevator bank, it's like 50 steps also, which is the best. You don't have to walk through a scene. And then the rooms are apartments. They were built as condos. So every one of them has a bathroom and a half. Some of them have like a separate seating area. Some of them are more of a studio. They have a little kitchenette, all that kind of stuff. And then Kerrie and I are getting our own rooms as well. We both, I don't snore anymore now that I've lost 35 pounds. She says she still snores a lot, and neither one of us wanted to torture each other with that. So, and I don't like sharing rooms with people who I'm not actually related to. Like, I don't know. I just like my own space. And that's the other reason I like the Vdara is it's like, you don't have to just sit on your bed. They have like a sofa, coffee table. They have like a little kitchen table, like the kitchenette. I like to go and I'll run by a Walgreens or grocery store or something and buy a bunch of stuff to keep in the room for snacks and bottles of wine, all that kind of stuff too. Happy hour in the room, Hell's Kitchen, Gordon Ramsay's restaurant near Caesar's Palace is really good. Yeah, it's booked up. We looked there, but we'll keep checking on that. And then Brandon is that's the only place we have a reservation. Brandon is her restaurant. I think it's in Paris, right? Paris hotel. And then tableside martinis. That sounds good. Let's go see Thunder from Down Under. It's so trashy, but I love it. Thunder from Down Under. Yes. I have never been to one of those strippy strip shows. I think there's there's like a country themed one in the Venetian. There's the Thunder from Down Under. I think there's the classic Chippendales also. We may have to look at that. I actually want to go see the RuPaul's Drag Race show, but Adele's show is at 8. So I'm thinking we're there until like 11, 10:30, 11, maybe 10. Sometimes the shows are only about 2 hours, but and then I also have to keep in mind that I'm not a late night person, and they're 2 hours behind us. So 8 o'clock there is already 10 o'clock here, and so if she ends at 10 o'clock there, it's midnight here, which will be like one of the latest nights for me ever. Jackie is saying, "Where are you playing pickleball now?" So that is the trouble. So all of the parks. So the park closest to my house, the pickleball courts, some jerk cut the nets. And so you have to bring your own like temporary net. And I don't have one of those. And I don't want to buy one of those because they have like little stands and stuff like that. So that one is out. There's another one at a little fitness center that you just join. It's very inexpensive. But their pickleball court is outdoors, but it's only open. They have it locked when the place is not open. And the place on Saturdays is open 8 to noon, and I think it's closed on Sundays. Can't play on the weekend. And I've been so busy, I can't play during the day. I was wanting to play tomorrow, but my week is crazy, so I can't do that. Just getting ready for it. And then the other park where I've played, which has like 10 pickleball courts, gets so busy and it's kind of a drive. I mean, it's like a 20-minute drive from my house. That I just, and you can't reserve it. So I just don't want to risk it and go down there. So I've not been playing lately. And so I'm workshopping this idea of buying like a lot somewhere nearby and putting a couple pickleball courts on it and having it where it's you have to have a membership fee and then you have to make reservations for it. Just so you know what you're in for, you know what you get, all that kind of stuff. And when we lived in Donna, Texas, which is outside of McAllen, our neighborhood had like a community pool where it was a private membership pool. It was just someone built a swimming pool on a city lot, and it was there forever. And you had to pay an annual membership, and you got a key. That was very low tech then. You got a key to go in. I think it's closed now. I think the insurance got too expensive, and also Donna's a shithole. But that is kind of the model that I would do. I know nothing about the insurance. So I think insurance is really where it gets you. And chicken and pickle, I know, but the thing is you have to drive out to those and you have to eat and drink. It just becomes an expensive thing. I just want simple, easy, quick. But I am playing in a tournament at Chicken and Pickle in April. So I'm excited about that. A very busy weekend in April. We have our schools gala on the Friday night. Then I have the pickleball tournament on Saturday, and then on Sunday, or no, maybe the pickleball tournament's on Sunday, and then that same evening, Kerrie and I are going to see David Sedaris. So, does Todd play? No, he does not. I have a set that I just got not so long ago. I've been using other people's stuff, but I just got a set, and Mason and I were dinking in the driveway the other day. Mason is really good at it too. He's tall and it's good. It's not a lot of motion and it doesn't take much to dink it. And it's got, the ball has holes in it, so it doesn't like go hauling ass either. But Todd, I think is now pickleball curious because enough people, that's the other thing, is it's gotten so popular that there's just not enough places to play it. And there's a tennis court across the street from my house, 2 of them actually. And I do not want them turned into a pickleball thing. And I know I'm a total hypocrite about this. And I think this is probably why someone cut the nets at the other place. It is so loud. people have tried to play pickleball here, and I'm like, what is that noise? What is that noise? So Jackie's asking what brand of paddle I get. I got a Cute one. That's the brand I got. Cute. I bought 4 paddles and a bag and like 8 pickleballs, 4 for indoor play, 4 for outdoor play. I think it was like $140. So it's not super high quality. At this point, I'm not good enough to worry about performance. So I want the performance to be the performance. That's it. So anyway, there's such a market for it right now. I've got maybe 100 people in GroupMe text that are looking for places to play every week. I'm in 3 different text chains for it, of people who are like, hey, who wants to meet up and do this? And I never can lately. It's either been cold or I got work shit or whatever. And so anyway, play tennis cute. I know, but you got to run so much. I can wear cute outfits and play pickleball. That's my issue with tennis, is that the running, like, just, it is so aggressive back and forth and forward and backwards. I like pickleball because my wingspan is about the width of my whole zone, my whole part of the pickleball thing. So I can look cute. Anyway, and Jackie's saying you wear the same outfits. I agree. I'm thinking yes. The one thing you don't see playing pickleball that I see on the tennis courts all the time is hot guys without their shirts on. And that may also be a reason why I don't want them converting it, because I'm a dirty old man who stands at my kitchen sink pretending to wash the dishes while watching the hotties across the street. Zach is saying, should we discuss Madonna's face in her response to the social media backlash? You know what? I don't like talking about people's looks like that very much, although at the same time, I'm a total hypocrite. Like last night, I was watching the State of the Union, and then Sarah Huckabee Sanders comes on afterwards giving the rebuttal, and I call her melted Miley Cyrus, because I feel like she looks like if Miley Cyrus, because she talks like Miley Cyrus, and she's got that same like vocal thing that Miley Cyrus does, and but she looks like if someone took a Miley Cyrus doll and put it a little too close to the space heater. Like things are just kind of not where they're supposed to be. And I shouldn't say that. And I even shouldn't say it right now. So I'm telling you the things that I say that I shouldn't be saying, because I'm chastising myself by telling you the things that I shouldn't say. Right. I think so. Madonna's face is not something that I would do to myself, but I do appreciate that people do things that make them feel good about themselves, better about themselves. And I fully intend to have plastic surgery at some point in my life. I think Joe Biden has some of the best plastic surgery out there. For 80 years old, that man looks so good. I want his eyes. His eyes look better than mine. Smokey Robinson looks great. No, but you got to make sure you don't veer into Kenny Rogers territory. That's the problem. I even think that there are some other men, and I think Jane Fonda looks fantastic. She's not a man, but I think she looks fantastic too. You get it, right? The melted Miley Cyrus reference, like that. Yes. At 55, Aaron's getting a full facelift. I know, and I joke already, like with between my weight loss and just aging, I spend the first 30 minutes of my day and the last 30 minutes of my day looking like a glazed donut. I put so much moisturizer on my face. Just go full. Yes, I probably will. I mean, I already got her there and there. So no Sophia Petrillo. But yes, full Dolly. Has anyone bought Dolly Parton's cooking box thing? I missed the pre-sale the other day, and it started at like 10, and I logged on at like 10:30, and it was already sold out. And it was 2 types of brownies, cornbread, and rolls or biscuits. And then it also came with like a towel and a little spatula thing and an apron and a cute little box. And I can just picture opening it and hearing her voice. So I still have not seen it in person. Everyone else has seen it. Like in the stores, I'm talking about the Duncan Hines like cake mixes and all that kind of stuff. But I've heard that the frostings are hard to find, especially. So, how is pickleball on your knees? I think that that's why older people like it so much, Pam, is that it is actually not too bad. I do know some people who've had ankle injuries from it, so you maybe just wear an ankle brace if you're prone to that. And they've been people who are prone to that. I did fall and hit my head on the pavement the first time I played, but that was me tripping on myself and just being the klutz that I am. And I've learned how to not do that now. So never run backwards, always scoot sideways. That is the rule in that. So, and then, okay, and it's already, I'm at time. Brandon is reporting in. This just in. Houston has apparently had cages cut too. Definitely part of some larger animal smuggling ring, I'm convinced. Yes. And then the stories that have come out are saying that this is actually not very rare, that zoos get broken into a lot and animals get stolen often. It's usually from smaller zoos, but yeah. Oh, and then Beth, you're asking, I'm going to go a little long, how Mason's school search is going. So we officially ended all activities last night. He had a full day yesterday. He had a shadow day at Parish Episcopal up in far northwest Dallas, Addison kind of area, Farmers Branch. I think it's technically Addison, but you have to drive through Farmers Branch to get to it. And that was his last shadow day. It was from 8:30 until 3 o'clock, so a full day. And then after that, he had admissions testing for Woodrow Wilson High School, which is a public high school here that has an international baccalaureate program. That's kind of a special program inside the school, kind of like a magnet within inside a regular school. And all of these, I am shocked. All the privates have their own tests. I mean, all the publics have their own. All the privates, we took one test. It was like the IC test. It's like the SAT for kids. All of the publics that we've gone to have had their own specialized test that he has to take. So we did that last night, essay and math and all that kind of stuff. And so now we just wait. He has favorites. If he gets into one of the three privates that we've applied to, I would bet lots of money and spend lots of money that the private is the way we're going to go, because we were very impressed with all three of them. And the publics were great. It's just a totally different experience, and not the kids so much. It was the public schools just make no effort to like be communicative to parents, especially if you are used to it from a private school situation. Because I've had questions and all that stuff, and I felt like I was an inconvenience, and I just didn't care for that. So, and it's been multiple experiences at different schools, so it's not just like the one school did that. So, all righty, it's Carol fucking Baskin. Zach is saying yes, right? She's rescuing the animals. And Sandy made the Dolly Parton cake. It was all right, too artificial. Even though I'm not a snob about cake mixes, nor am I. You know what it is? Did you make the banana one? I am convinced that it is impossible to have artificially flavored banana. Like, I can do a lot of other flavors, but banana is like, I love bananas very much, but I don't like the banana Laffy Taffies. Don't like those. I don't like banana flavored popsicles, stuff like that. And did we have to ask teachers to write recommendations to the? Yes, I did. They needed a current math and a current English teacher. So our teachers had to write 3 recommendations. Fortunately, they asked all basically the same questions, and they all came in at around the same time. So they just sat down and did it. And it's all online. I have no idea what the questions were because I never saw them. And I will never see the answers either. So, all righty. Well, with that, I'm going to say bye. I should be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Yes. I'll be here tomorrow, but I will not be here Friday. So tomorrow will be the end of the week for me. Have fun in Las Vegas with Adele and Kerrie. Thank you. Can't wait to hear all of you. I will tell you all about it. So, and Brandon recommends Dolly's coconut cake mix. Good to know. And then maybe just use a different frosting because it tastes too artificial. Maybe it's like the Dolly Parton, like, her beauty is so fake that maybe that's what she wants the cakes and stuff to taste like too. Alrighty. Well, with that, I'm going to say bye. I love you. It's important to know you are loved. I love that you watch this. Thank you for allowing me to have my therapy session every day and you just watch along. Take care of yourself. Stay warm. If you are in a cold place, it is cold here in Dallas right now. And I'll see you tomorrow at 4:30 for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Should I say? Talk to you later. Bye.